In today's game, I would strike Babe Ruth out every time. I'm not trying to disrespect him, Rest in peace, Shout out to Babe Ruth. Said free agent reliever Adam Ottavino. Ottavino had a 2.43 ERA last year, struck out 112 batters in 77 innings while pitching for the Rockies. Pablo, could he be right?
I mean, I have an issue with how we do the time travel hypothetical because this guy is basically implying that he could go back in time like Marty McFly in Back to the Future, rip a few chords of Johnny B. Good before Chuck Berry ever did, then zip back out. And that's not how this works. You can't just go back in time and strike out Babe Ruth. The question is, if you guys both contemporaneously lived in the same era and you both had access to nutrition and conditioning and technology and the wisdom of Babe Ruth going forward, how would you do? And that's where I feel like we are disrespecting the Bambino.
One of the things that he pointed out is the size of the bat that Babe Ruth was swinging. Back when those pitchers with second jobs as plumbers were throwing eephus pitches at him. The kind of slider that this dude throws is not something that existed in Babe Ruth's time. I don't think he would have hit 140. I think he would have gotten a smaller bat and hit home runs and fit very well in today's home run hitting game.
If the Babe Ruth that played in the 20s and 30s came up today looking like that, carrying a 42-ounce bat, this guy, he's never faced a 100-mile-an-hour heater. This guy would strike him out every time. But the craziness is to think that that guy would be in the major leagues now because nutrition is different and off-season is different and workouts are different. If Babe Ruth showed up now as Babe Ruth, what he would be is Aaron Judge times 1 or 2. He'd hit 50, 60, and probably 70, and he'd take Ottavino deep.
Okay, we all agree that modern players have all these advantages that they didn't have back in the day and that there are more good players in baseball now than there have ever been.
Yes.
And there's more guys throwing bucko 1, bucko 2, all of that. However, no one in American professional sports has been better than his peers than that dude was than his. Like, yes. I get it. I understand it. I fully get the idea that there's Babe Ruth, back in the day, all this. Nah, man, he still be out here killing it right now.
By the way, I can't believe we're actually playing this hypothetical out seriously. It's really great marketing. This guy's a free agent. He had a really good year this year. And if I'm another team, who better to decide and who better to sell to the fans than the guy who would strike out Babe Ruth every time?
Do you realize how outrageous this show would be in 1918 if we were airing this and somebody named Adam Ottavino was challenging the greatness of Babe Ruth?
Of course he will strike out the Babe every time. The Babe is dead, that takes no brain power.
That's why we should have started the conversation.
Right. The Babe is dead. Anybody can strike out the Babe. I can do it too.
I mean, yeah, you could.
See, we didn't even have to.
I mean, he's right.
Why don't we just go to Poppy first?
He's right. The Babe's not getting any hits from the coffin. Come on.
That's it.
Too soon?
Babe in the day would strike out Ottavino every time he faced him.
It's true.
Let me just go to something. These stupid shifts they employ them because the numbers are so stupid and they're so ignorant of what can be done on a baseball field by great players. What do you think would happen if Pete Rose waited until people shifted on him? He'd hit 800 because every time they shifted, he would hit a baseball into an open spot.
Too many left-handed power hitters are too prideful to do that.
That's my point.
They should.
Baseball is a sport which in many ways has gotten worse. Do you think Sandy Koufax couldn't play in today's game? Do you think, does this dope think Bob Gibson couldn't play in today's game?
I think the important thing.
It's just asinine.
You can compare numbers, but you cannot compare people because the world changes and people evolve. If Wilt Chamberlain, as we knew him, came around today, he'd be the greatest thing that everyone has ever seen. So I join with you in saying, shut up.
He was an amazing hitter. He was an amazing pitcher. He was Shohei Ohtani. Before that, the best argument against Babe Ruth is that he didn't face the competition that was A, ethnically or racially diverse, or B, as strong as you said.
No, that is the thing, is that it was segregated when Babe Ruth played baseball, and there were not black people playing baseball when Babe Ruth played baseball.
Yeah.
Nope.
No black people.
Might have been one. It's possible.
Yeah, there might be one.
You never know.
Yeah.